One day, Axel's grieving about his slump as a manga artist since 2Ps had been declining recently and because his Inkweiver has been broken for about a year now. Luckily, he installed a device to find the missing piece. He tries it out, but it launches Mario into the air, causing him to travel between different universes, and it's up to him to find the pen. He's welcomed into the following shows: Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Demon Slayer, Jimmy Neutron? One Piece.
Here's how the story goes. We find out about a treasure in the Grand Line. There's no
Bleach. Get it? JoJo. Death Note. Spirited Away. And The Last Airbender, a cartoon inspired by anime. After all that weebish nonsense, Mario is warped to the internet graveyard, specifically at the Starbucks location, and finds the pen, which SMG4 was using as a doorstop. Funny how no one thought to grab that when the gang was going home, huh? He arrives back at Axel's. The salamander is happy to know he can revive his career, and the two celebrate with a dancing penguin. Yes! That's a real sentence I just said. 8 out of 10. This is a fever dream of an episode, with incredibly weird but funny skits written by the brothers. The pacing and humor are good, and the Jimbo work is decent enough, but my biggest gripe is the rushed character development of Axel. Now, Axel isn't the best, but still a definitely decent character in my opinion. He's got a much better focus than last year, especially when considering his crush on Melanie. Yes, that guy is quite the sim, a word I personally don't like using, but he isn't a complete weirdo or creep as certain people claim. That's because through his interests, those being ardent in his potential relationship, it could lead him to becoming more than a two-dimensional anime enthusiast, assuming they got ideas for him later on. It's kind of funny that they complain about his Inkweiver only being used as a weapon when they're still bothered by his presence back when he was introduced. Not to mention anime themes in general. Back on topic, what I'm saying is Axel was barely in this video, thus skipping over the build-up of him finally fixing his trademark item. It could have been more interesting if we joined Mario for the ride, where we could have seen their motivation better, but we just get the opening and ending regarding the end goal. At least this trait has come back and will be put to some good use. Also, imagine this whole video is just one big FUCK YOU! To the folks who keep saying anime ruined the show. Just a thought. Another good video glitch, but more consistency towards the writing angle of a character development will be appreciated. After several weeks, Zero's Puff finally arrives at the Mushroom Kingdom, crash landing in the forest. Meanwhile, the duo are hanging out in the castle and are surprised with a Shrek army at the front door. Mario believes it came from Axel due to helping him fix the Inkweiver previously, so they go to his place to interrogate. He's completely unaware of it though, and doesn't believe Shrek counts as anime, even though that label can be applied to anything in this crazy world. Mario takes a peek at his manga about his fruity crush and laughs it off until an ogre captures and takes him away. Ford and Axel chase after him, and the latter is confronted about what he's been drawing, and Axel awkwardly responds. "This is my friends," is what we like to call. Once they catch up, they realize they've been baited. One of the clones made by EGAT against his own will uses Ford to open the pod so the menacing eyeball could re-enter. But it gets stepped on by the mustache paisano. You think it all ended there, but nope, as Zero's tentacles grab Mario once again and others try to pull him out. The USB suddenly goes missing and Sinks attacks them, capturing Axel. Inside, he witnessed Zero, about to be mind-controlled. The plumbers try to open the USB, but ejects Axel and flies towards Peach's castle. Later, Melanie sits beside an unconscious Axel, asking Mario what happened, and he tells her to go outside. The group sees the pod floating above their home, and Swag attempts to eradicate the thread, but it's no use. Axel shows up, making him believe he's okay, but he suspiciously heads home without asking what happened. Things have been shook and turned an interesting turn, to say at least. 8 out of 10. This one put me on the edge of my seat. It has decent pace, and some scenes are pretty intense, but I wasn't afraid to throw a couple jokes. I thought the moment Zero will show up, he will tearing down the kingdom in a heartbeat, hoping to take out Mario. That looks like he's trying to play mind games with the game, as well as the audience figuring out what to do. I hope Axel's will be alright after this is over. I think not much else to say other than the thumbnail title would change a few days after upload. I could see why they changed the name, since the beginning of the end was quite on the nose for some people, implying the shows will at the end soon, which I don't believe will happen for various reasons, at least for a while, but the thumbnail I'm not so sure. The original is better since it fits the tone of the episode and Zero's eyes is on model, but the one takes that away and is probably meant to be more algorithm friendly. Like any other time that this happened, we don't tend to harp on it for too long, we just move on with our day. Next video. Swag and Chris are setting up a nuke on the castle while the rest of the crew hide in the bunker to wait it out. Swag pushes the button to detonate, but nothing happens, forcing them to investigate. Bob goes crazy and wants to get out, but the four prevents him for his own good. Everyone realizes there isn't any food because they didn't bring their own stuff, which is his one-way ticket to Muni. Maggie's distraught with the situation as she just got back home and argues with Mario over Boopkin's chocolate bar, prompting Psycho to give them timeouts. Boopkins gets stressed out over their fight, and Axel's in the can acting rather weird. Swag notices the chip is missing from the bomb, because Peach is preventing them from blowing up the castle. It shows how much she cares about that thing more than the safety of her inhabitants. Not care about the glowing thing floating above it. Melanie gets concerned over Axel's whereabouts and checks the toilet, finding nothing. Mario barges in to take a leak, but gets sucked into a familiar-looking portal. Swag puts the deadbeat prison in her place and puts back the chip. The bunker is filled with the chaos until Atari realizes they've forgotten about Luigi. Again. He visits the castle wanting to play board games with everyone, and then
Skip it up and that up.
Unfortunately, the bomb doesn't work. Zero's pod is still standing, and now Mario's missing. Looks like Doomsday will actually start soon. 8.5 out of 10. Now, this episode is kind of smart about playing the audience with how it presented itself. They're about to undergo an apocalyptic event, yet Mario's doing just fine in the thumbnail, up until the ending. It was pretty hilarious to see the group fight with each other, especially Mario and Maggie's sibling rivalry, which I'm sure made somebody upset. Swag shenanigans with the nuke were also entertaining, and the twist ending where someone inconsequential becomes otherwise is a fine setup for the following video. Mario falls from the toilet portal and lands in the convenient but desolated place the internet knows too well, the backrooms. He's then pursued by a shadowy figure desperately trying to get out of the maze, but it turns out to be 4 who was just warped from the same place. They walk around to see if there's an exit suddenly upon a question block. Mars hits it, and out comes an ordinary Goomba warning him to not go any further. But they go against his wishes, discovering a room filled with balloons and presents. Inside the boxes are the hats of Mario and the SMGs. Suddenly, the room glitches out and pops into terrifying messages on the wall, freaking them out. They bump into 3 and are unsurprised how he got there too. All because they had to take a leak. And still need to by the way.
And we all still have to piss.
Suddenly, an SSP, yes really, appears causing the trio to run to the elevator. They believe it to be safe until the elevator starts bugging and stops at Zero's cathedral. They find Axel and he only greets them briefly, but switches to warning them about escaping. 3 questions about what the hell is going on. So Axel responds that he wants them to come here and flips up saying it's not safe, but that he mutates into a monster, revealing that Zero has corrupted him and sucks them into 3's pod in a similar way how 1 and 2 met their fate. It ends with a creepy smile from the mutated Axel. 10 out of 10. This episode is certainly the scariest of the arc and one of the most chilling videos of the series. It's possible that this could be a small taste of what's to come for Murder Drones, considering it would be a blend of horror and comedy. I love the tone, setting, and pacing, and even clever writing that keep us guessing until everything is explained. The smartest part in particular was when Axel tried to warn them from Zero, luring them in. Instead of a typical horror cliche that turns out to be something unrelated or really predictable, Axel's corrupted design is truly terrifying as intended. And the community's artists will tell you that no matter how many peers will argue that it's unfitting in a world where anything goes, and this might be the lead up of how everything came to be before the Toy Kingdom was destroyed, as well as the most cataclysmic event where even happened in the SMG4 universe. Great work, guys. And at the time of me writing this review, I hope you'll end the story strong. Yes, it's almost that time of the year again, the time when I discussed what the Genesis arc has done for the show and what it will bring afterwards, including the predictable bad potential good if SMG4 still has a bright future. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please consider sharing these reviews. Take care of yourselves, and as always, peace out.
That's a nice argument. Unfortunately, I had sexual intercourse with your mother.